Oh, we're recording.
Oh,
Crap.
you put your hand like
Right? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
What's up, peeps? Today we're going to talk about something that I think is interesting and funny and fun to all of us: dating and dating apps. Rolling my trike. Here we go. So, Cheng, tell me, what kind of dating apps do you use to meet guys?
I actually used a lot already.
Stop it. Get some help.
So I used Tinder, Bumble, Singapore Social,
Singapore Social. Okay.
and Filipino Cupid.
So in the U.S., I remember using Match.com, and then of course everybody has Tinder. Everybody knows about Tinder. Hinge has become really, really popular as a big time hookup app. I've never used Hinge before. I have no idea what it looks like. I've never used, what'd you say, Bumble before? I've never used that one before. What is Bumble about?
It's the same thing with Tinder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has this locked features too, unless you subscribe to them. So
Okay. So what's different about Bumble then?
it's the same. So, but it has this feature like if you want to find friends, relationships, and to grow your network, like
so it's not just for dating. It can
not
be for
just for
that's
dating.
kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So listen, why don't we we'll go down the list of each dating app, and we'll talk about them specifically, talk about the pros and cons, and talk about maybe our experiences using them. We probably had some very different experiences, but let's talk about it. Let's get it, people. All right. So let's start with Tinder. I think everybody knows Tinder. So have you used Tinder before?
Yes,
So-
I use Tinder.
What has been your experience using Tinder?
So, like for example, I aim for Western or guys abroad, but they keep changing location. So I always think that they're living here.
Of course, I've used Tinder. I think any single person in America, probably even in the world, has used Tinder. I've kind of tended to stray away from Tinder because a little bit more serious about relationships. So Tinder is not the way to go.
Yeah, but also just like what you experienced, that it's more of a hookup or a short time thing.
Right.
So not most guys in there are serious or want to go.
Right. So do you kind of get the sleazy guy
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? Like show me anyway. Okay. All right. All right. Anyway, the next one, Bumble. I've never used Bumble before, so what's been your experience on Bumble? What did you use it for?
Dating, of course, but the difference is that you have this different categories, like you want to find friends, you want to be in a relationship, or you want to grow your network. Like for example, you're doing business or you want to know people, then there are three options that you want to click. And then Bumble will select the profiles that are appropriate for the category that you chose.
Right. Okay. So you can, that's kind of cool. You can use it for a lot of different things, not necessarily just dating. You can use it for networking if that's your thing too. That's interesting. Okay.
But also Bumble has this feature that the girls can start a conversation.
Word?
Yeah.
Okay, so the girls got to start talking first. Maybe Bumble's not it if you're looking for for a relationship, but maybe so. Depending on what you want, it's still better than Tinder. Tinder is always kind of that the hookup. Okay, OkCupid. Have you ever used OkCupid before? I've never used OkCupid before, so I don't know nothing about that.
But I use a different app. It's called Boo.
Called Boo. What is Boo?
Boo is
Boo!
Boo.
That's what Boo is, damn it.
Boo is before you start to create your own profile, you're going to answer an Enneagram test, so a personality test.
Oh, word?
So
No.
yeah, to make sure that you're compatible with the person you want to match with. So
I mean, I guess that's cool. If you're looking for a long-term partner,
yeah.
that is a cool thing. So, I mean, it kind of demonstrates that you're serious about who you're looking for and all that stuff. But I mean, do I want to take a test? Do I really want to take a test to
It's a personality test, yeah. So
Pactor? Has anybody heard of Pactor? I've never heard of Pactor. Where have I been?
I actually heard Pactor with one of the guys I talked to because he's been using it, but I think it's just available for Southeast Asia. So yeah.
I think we've both heard of Filipino Cupid before. I subscribed to Filipino Cupid like a while ago, and there's some pros and cons to Filipino Cupid. I personally think there's a lot more pros than cons.
Okay, so pros and cons. Number one, if you didn't subscribe to the app, of course, the messages are locked.
Right.
Another thing is that you can, same with the others, there's a feature of a verified profile, so which means that you're talking to the real person. Of course, you have to make sure that that's the real person.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one.
That's a plus. That's definitely a plus, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of fake apps and bots out there.
The men in there are like supermodels, like for real.
But the girls, okay. So in my experience in Filipino Cupid, the women, and there would be some profiles, only one picture, and of course profiles without pictures, just ignore. But there'd be some pictures of like just drop dead beautiful girls. I mean, just drop. You're like, damn, and you're like, wait a minute. I mean, she'd be like the perfect person on paper. And you kind of find out, you're like, nah, this ain't real. My experience on Filipino Cupid is, and I think most men can attest to this, if you're here, you will get inundated with likes and messages. And I mean, but that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. So that's a good thing. They're going to be a lot of good stuff. I think it's more quantity than quality.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of messages, but a lot of them are going to be from people who ain't got no jobs, from people who have 3-4 kids. I mean, look, somebody with 3 or 4 kids might be your thing. My thing is that there's going to be women on there who ain't got no job. They're looking for you. Your name is not Rich. Your name is Cha-Ching.
Yeah.
Dollar sign. Your name is Cha-Ching, right? Your first name is Cha, and your last name is Ching, right? So that's the one thing about Filipino Cupid that I experience is like people are they're trying to get money. But when I look at it, actually, I think, is that any different from any other society where women are looking for security? It's not. Filipino Cupid, you do get quantity. You get big quantity. Yeah, you get a lot. I mean, trust me when I tell you, there will be lots of DMs, lots of messages. We talked about different dating apps and what we like about them, what we don't like about them. Let's talk a little bit about dating app experiences. So what I want to know, how does the date go down for you?
For me, because I want to feel safe, because this is the first time I'll be meeting the guy. So I would rather meet the guy
at his condo.
No.
Okay.
I get that a lot. So anyway, so I would rather ask the guy to meet me up mid-morning or morning, because for me that's a safe time for me.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That totally makes
so if it's at night, I probably would like to go on a coffee date maybe, and then after that some movies. But going into a guy's condo on the first day is a no-no for me.
I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. I mean, it would. Yes, for us it's convenient, but if I was talking to my sister, I wouldn't recommend going to some dude's condo that you've never met, or where he lives. You've never met him. You don't really know much
his
about
background.
Him. Yeah, it's going to be something in public for sure. It's definitely going to be something in public, because I don't want no problems. I mean, it could backfire on you going to a man's condo, but it could just as quickly backfire on a man. At home, it would be let's go to the park, but here, it would probably be a coffee date or go to the mall. You could go to the mall, get something to eat, but it's definitely going to be in public and probably somewhere where it's not too noisy. It would not be the cinema.
Where you can talk.
Yeah, where you can talk and get to know somebody. What's acceptable on the first date? Like at the end of the first date, well, okay, during the date, if you kind of feeling the vibe, right? You're feeling the guy, you kind of like him. Would it be okay if he held your hand? Would that kind of like make you nervous or put you off if he tried to hold your hand?
Like for me, like what I mentioned before, that I'm a fan of physical touch. But if the person is just new to me, like a simple touch like that, wouldn't mind. But something that goes like that, I'm a little off.
That's a little bit much, right? Okay.
A touch, maybe, perhaps holding hands, not yet on the first day.
Not on the first day.
Not on the first day.
Okay. I learned something when I was young. When I did learn something, and that's that touch is a really powerful tool. So two things I learned, two places to touch somebody where they're not uncomfortable. One is on their shoulder. It's intimate, but not too intimate. It expresses attention. It shows them attention. And the other one is, and you can't be too far up, but to touch somebody on their leg. Touch somebody on their leg closer to their knee. The response I get from that is usually really positive, but I don't really try to hold hands with somebody on the first date.
You're not trying to be rude.
No, and especially here in the Philippines, obviously I haven't dated that much, but definitely, people are a little bit more conservative. No hand holding really on the first date.
Yeah.
Maybe a little touch.
A little touch.
I mean, something simple, right? Something simple, not too intimate. What else is okay on the first date?
Like when you part ways, I'm okay with a hug.
So a hug.
Yeah.
Do I get a shug where we shake hands? You know what a shug is, right? Where we do the little shug. Like right.
I got
it. Next time, right? So is it a shug or can you give him a hug?
A hug.
You can give him a hug, right? Okay. So in the hug, can he kiss you on the cheek?
For me, just a hug first.
Just a hug. Oh, okay.
Maybe on the second date, it could be a kiss on the cheek.
A little kiss on the cheek, right? What would you, if he wanted to kiss you on the cheek, what would you do? Like,
I would. How do you say that?
Like you would kind of jerk back.
Hell no.
Or whatever, like, okay. Do you think that would make a next
the guy
date awkward? Do you think next date?
I think it will be a little awkward because, it's still your personal space. Right. So, I mean, if you really want to kiss a girl, you could ask for permission,
Yeah, but then that's too awkward. The vibe has got to be, you got to feel a vibe.
But you can actually feel the vibe when you're hugging the girl. When she hugs tight, you can definitely tell that she.
But what if you hug him tight back and then he goes in to give you a little kiss on the cheek and you?
Well, it depends.